My name is Guy Forsyth.
We are backstage in the green room at Kerrville Folk Festival 2008, and we just finished your great set, and you really entertained the entire crowd and are one of our main players that have entertained us for many years, and we sure appreciate you coming.
It's an honor to be on the stage. There is a wonderful chain of artists that have been a part of the folk festival. So it's great to be a part of it, and it's a real honor to get to play on the closing show on a Saturday night. You know, that's wonderful.
Definitely, and it's a true tribute to what a outstanding musician you are, and we are very blessed to have you.
Thank you very much.
Sharing the magic. We've been doing interviews with many musicians, and we are mainly focusing on what happens out in the campground and the magic that has really brought the Kerrville Folk Festival to be what it is, being the 2008 folk festival that has been going on since '72, and you've been coming since 1990 is what I believe that you said.
Yeah, my first time here was in 1990. I'd heard about the Kerrville Folk Festival when I lived up in Kansas City, and so it was something I knew I was going to do when I got down here, and so my very first year, I rode my motorcycle out, and I didn't know how far it was, and so by the time I got here, I was sunburned on my arms because I wore a short sleeve shirt, and instantly found lots of people here that I already knew, and played music and ate some food that somebody cooked at a camp around a campfire or something like that, and got food poisoning. And I spent my first night at Kerrville blowing both barrels in the shower, just like miserable. Oh, it was awful. And I felt better the next day, but I was just limping the whole next day. So somebody let me use their hammock, and I just like the next day I was just like But it didn't stop me from coming back. And the scene around the campfires is unique. You have probably the highest density of musicians per capita, per square mile here of just about anywhere that I've ever been. And it's different than like a bluegrass festival, because most of the people here are songwriters. So the thing that's king here is the song. It's about storytelling, and you just turn around and there's somebody there with playing and singing a guitar who you could stay and listen to all night, who might have a trick bag of 50, 60 songs that they've written. And so you get a couple of these songwriters in a circle where they're sort of passing the conch shell around, figuratively, and passing bottles and other substances around as well. And people take turns singing songs, and it brings out some amazing performances, and the type of musical experience you can't pay for. You can't set it up. You can't go to a club and get an experience like this, because it is a million times more intimate, and there's a real magic that happens here. There's a lot of people who aren't professional musicians, but who play and practice in their homes and in their basements all year round, just to come out here and share the things that they've been working on.
Completely agree. And you mentioned the magic. What's one of the most magical things that you've seen transpire out here?
Well, I'm trying to remember who had this bus. It was in the middle of the meadow, and so we all started playing on top of the bus. We all climbed up on top of the bus, and there was full moon, low, fast-moving clouds, but sparse, just like whipping past. And so it felt like we were on a ship or something like that on top of this bus. And it wasn't even a weekend night. It was like a Wednesday night. So there wasn't the full carnival that happens on the weekend nights, because the festival really fills up on the weekends. So it was pretty intimate, and most of the people were folks who came and staged. They did for the majority of the festival. And it was just otherworldly, you know. It was a perfect night. The temperature was perfect. The visuals were perfect.
Definitely, we understand that as well, and we also, one of our main topics has been, again, the things that happened in the campground, and you are one of the people who have come out and actually camped out on the ranch for many, many nights. How many nights do you think you've spent out on the ranch?
Oh, probably I'm sure I've spent 30 nights out at the ranch. You know, a good solid month, but not always in, you know, like, but I'm a professional musician, and I work a lot, so it's not always easy for me. I haven't ever been able to stay the whole festival, which is something I'd really like to do. And my wife and I just had a baby last year, who's 13 months old, and she's here this year. This is her second Kerrville, because she was here last year too. And there's a great community of kids here. I think that people who have been coming to the festival for years breed and have kids and bring their kids out, and it's one of the best places, I think, to have kids and let, you know, even just let them run around and stuff like that, because this community has no problem policing itself, taking care of its of the people here. There is a wonderful vibe in this intentional in this intentional space, in this intentional community, that hopefully we're able to take out of here and share with the rest of the world when we leave.
So you're working on some new projects?
Well, I just had a CD come out. We just released a new CD called Calico Girl, and we're touring this summer. We'll go up in July. We'll go up to Canada. We'll do the Chicago American Music Festival, and then we'll do the Ottawa Blues Festival, and come back through the East Coast, do some gigs in New York and Vermont and Boston and DC, and then come back through the central U.S. and play my hometown of Kansas City, and do the House of Blues in Dallas on the way back. So that's what we're looking at right now. We have a record out, and so we're going to tour this record, and we'll be going back into the studio this fall, and who knows? You know, it's always exciting for me, because I don't know exactly what a record's going to be like before we start, because so much of it is the process. You know, it's an uncovering.
Absolutely. Well, we sure appreciate you coming and entertaining, and you have a website?
Oh, we have the best website. In fact, the absolute best website ever created by man. And it's guyforsyth.com, GUYFORSYTH.com. And we just launched the website, corresponding with the launch of the record. And we had a lot of fun doing the website. I figured if someone is going on the web, looking up a musician's website, they're looking to be entertained. So give them a website that'll entertain them. You know, it should, you know, have information available, so if people want to find dates and stuff like that. But most important, it's got to be enjoyable.
Definitely. Well, we definitely enjoy you and appreciate you joining
Thanks a lot.
us. And we'll have all your links through our MySpace, and we look forward to seeing you again real soon.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.